hockey fans, Evansville Thunderbolts insider Joe Downs. Usually we're talking about the Thunderbolts postgame report. Unfortunately, with the season wrapping up prematurely, we're talking about the Thunderbolts postseason report. Now, before we throw things down to Florida and play-by-play man Tommy Pecoraro, we got the little playoff beard going. Unfortunately, this isn't intentional. Got a little bit of poison ivy doing some yard work, so can't quite shave it off yet. That's why it's a little white, too. That's not great. Trust me on that. That's actually a little bit of the cream they gave me, steroid cream. But nonetheless, it is award season now in the SPHL. It all starts on Thursday, and with all the success this team has had over the past season, we keep saying it's the rebirth of the franchise, and it truly is. We have some definite candidates to take home some postseason hardware. And without further ado, let's send it down to Florida and Tommy Pecoraro as he breaks down the field.
For the all-rookie team, it's safe to say Austin Plevy will definitely be on that team, considering he led all rookies and all players around the league in points. He had an outstanding rookie season. He will be on the all-rookie team, no doubts about it. A lot of other Thunderbolt rookies could also be on that list. Talking about Seth Swenson, could talk about Matthew Barnaby. Both had really good offensive seasons as a rookie for the Thunderbolts. Kenny Butler and Barry Holmes are two defensemen as well. That could also make the all-rookie team. For the first and second all-star teams, besides the rookies we just mentioned, Austin Plevy certainly could very well be on at least the second all-star team. In fact, he'll more likely will be on the first all-star team when all is said and done. But several of the Thunderbolts veterans as well could end up being on there. We talk about Derek Sulliff, who had a 20-plus goal season, was a point-per-game player, provided steady offense, and was one of the leaders amongst the team in the locker room. Brian Billett, of course, was a very big pickup in goal, and certainly we'll talk about him later on in this discussion as well. But Brian Billett certainly could earn one of the two all-star spots in goal. And Brandon Lubit could also get honorable mention when it comes to the defensive side of things as well for the defenseman part of the all-star teams as well. Certainly not a lock in his case, but there's a lot of really good defensemen around the league this year. But so those are some of the couple names that come to mind for me for the all-star teams. And continuing on with the Defenseman of the Year, again, I don't think the Thunderbolts will win this one. There's so many great defensemen around the league this year. I think, however, getting honorable mentions will be some of the names I mentioned just a little while ago. Brandon Lubin, the captain, of course, had a very good season for the Thunderbolts. I think he'll be an honorable mention for Defenseman of the Year around the league. Tanner Butler and Brandon Helms also had very strong seasons as well for the Thunderbolts. I don't think they'll be too heavy in the conversation, but certainly honorable mentions all around. As for Rookie of the Year, this one is the easiest by far to talk about. It's going to be Austin Plevy. I'd say it's a 99.99% chance that Austin Plevy wins Rookie of the Year when you lead all players in the league, rookie or veteran, in points and assists. Austin Plevy had an outstanding season. He will win the Rookie of the Year. As for Goaltender of the Year, there are a lot of strong candidates around the league. Let's talk about Eric Levine in Peoria is one that comes to mind. Max Miles, second. Huntsville comes to mind. Pensacola's had some good goaltending all year long. Joseph Murdaka in Knoxville. Blake Whitala in Fayetteville. The list goes on and on and on. There's so many great goaltenders around the league. But for the Thunderbolts, Brian Billett was acquired mid-season by the Thunderbolts and was the player of the month as well for the month of February around the league. He will definitely be in the thick of things for the Goaltender of the Year honors, I believe. Moving on to Coach of the Year, Coach Jeff Best should certainly be at least a finalist in discussion for Coach of the Year. Certainly some others that come to mind around the league would be Jesse Kalki in Fayetteville, Glenn DeTulio in Huntsville, or a couple others come to mind. Jean-Guy Trudel held a really good, strong team in Peoria this year as well that was tied for first. And certainly Jeff Best, the credit for him would go to just the fact that the team went from how they were last season to being in the basement of the SPHL to being a true threat to win the President's Cup this year, had the playoffs played out, and certainly that turnaround would certainly be good marks for winning Coach of the Year. So certainly Jeff Best, I think, will be at least a finalist to win Coach of the Year. Moving on to the big prize, the Most Valuable Player Award. Certainly Austin Plevy will be high in the discussion for MVP honors, but there are a couple other strong candidates around the league. The two that come to mind specifically are Brian Bowen in Fayetteville with his 30-goal season over with the Marksmen, and Alec Hageman in Peoria, the captain of the Rivermen. Had a bit of a slow start to the season, but really turned up the offense quite well and was a big component of the Rivermen's success again this season.
Thank you, Tommy. And finally, now the SPHL does not have a Broadcast of the Year award, but if it did, I would vote for our own Tommy Pecoraro. He has had a phenomenal season in the booth, and he is always the consummate professional. So there you have it. Those are our takes on the award season. Now stay tuned on all our social media networks. As the awards come out, we'll have all the winners, and hopefully a lot of them will be Thunderbolts. For the Evansville Thunderbolts postseason report, I'm Joe Downs.